Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Marketing Minute. I'm your host, Adam Small. Today we're in Monrovia, Indiana, and we're with Calvin Johnson of Westport Homes. Hi, Calvin. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. And we also have Kimberly Small with us. Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks. So today we're going to be talking about how real estate agents can work with new construction companies, and that's why Calvin's here, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
Okay. I am a new home consultant for Westport Homes. In the Monrovia community we're at is Homestead. I am in my third year with this company, and how I got started with this is sales has been a big background for me. Went to college for communication major. I got involved with many aspects with that. I was a radio DJ. Then I moved into the public relations and sales side of things. And then after a few different positions in the communications related field, I got contacted by somebody who worked for new home construction. And I always thought that somebody needed to be licensed like a realtor to be involved with new home construction.
Right. Well, it would kind of make sense, right?
It would, because you're selling homes technically.
Right.
And they're just like, no, you just come in. They had a position. I started off as a sales associate. So almost like an assistant position, but you're training to become
Getting the coffee guy.
Yeah, exactly. I was the organizer. I cleaned the offices and really cut my teeth to get to where I am now as the consultant position, what everybody wants to strive to be in the new home sales position. So that's where I ended up here.
Great. So, like you said, you kind of thought that you needed to be licensed in order to work with new home construction. So, and you don't, does that kind of create a little bit of tension between real estate agents and home builders, because they go through a lot of training and they have continuing education, and there's a lot that goes into being a real estate agent, so does that create some tension between you guys?
Not so much. We create really strong relationships with our realtors whenever they come in. I was always taught to treat this almost like a retail when you go into a new home model office, because we have set hours, 9 to 7, and we have to be there at those set hours and act as the sales rep. But at the same time, there's hardly any tension with that, because the strong bond we share, we want to continue the sales with those reps as well. And as somebody that is a real estate agent, they go through so much work to get licensed.
Right.
And you would think that there was tension, whereas you walk into a new home construction company and looking for a job, and they're just like, yeah, come on in, do your interview, and you don't have to go through those exams and things to get even qualified.
Right. So, along those lines, you as well as the realtors and the real estate agents, you both want happy customers. You don't want somebody to come in and buy a home and then be dissatisfied for any number of reasons, right? So with that kind of common goal, what do you do to kind of make sure that you do have a good working relationship with agents?
You keep them in the loop on everything. I always strive with like a motto: the fortune's in the follow-up. Say the agent comes in with a customer, they've looked through 100 homes already.
Right.
Seems to be the going average lately. But at the same time, when they come into our office and they end up seeing the fortune in what's in new home construction at the time, they end up buying. You want to keep them through the process of groundbreaking to the construction phase. Let them know that you care not just about their customer, but about them as well. And that's really important to me as a salesperson, because it's all about creating not just, this is just a sale and we're done with them.
Right.
We want to create a relationship where the agent can come back in.
So it's creating that genuine relationship there. It's whether it be a friendship or a work relationship, it's still genuine. You're honest, you're upfront, you're communicating what's going on and making sure that everybody knows what's what, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Great. Okay, so sometimes buyers come to you guys directly, and sometimes a real estate agent will bring them to you, right? So some people, and I'm probably among them, I would think that coming to you guys directly would probably be better off for me from a negotiation perspective. I may be able to get more out of you guys, or a lower sales price or something like that. Is that true, or does it matter?
Not necessarily true. You're free to use a realtor at your disposal when you walk in. Basically, there's a couple different demographics when it comes to that as well. When someone wants to work with an agent, a lot of times they still have a home to sell. And they use that agent for that aspect, and then they need help looking for something out there, something that isn't necessarily a myth right now. And there's a lot of people that come in tell me there's low inventory out there.
Right. It's been flying off, which is part of why people are looking at so many homes right now, because they go and they look and they take it, they decide, and somebody's already bought it. Somebody's put the offer in, it's been accepted, right?
Absolutely. And they go for maybe tens of thousands higher than the asking price.
Right.
Because it's a bidding war out there right now.
Right.
And when a customer comes in, my first question with them is, are you currently working with a realtor? And if they aren't sure what they're doing in terms of looking for a home because there's nothing out there, I encourage that for them. I'm like, well, if you'd like to use a realtor, by all means, go ahead. It will probably help your process as well, but I'll do everything in my power to help you out in the new home construction side of things. It's really up to them, and it's not going to necessarily help or hurt them in any way.
So I'm not necessarily going to get more out of the new home build if I'm using a realtor, or less out of it if I'm using a realtor, right?
It's basically, if you had a relationship with somebody when you walked in the door, keep on using them.
Right.
I encourage it, especially if they know a lot about the new home construction phase. If they don't, then more power to them. Bring them into. I'd like to educate the realtor as well on the benefits of buying a new home versus pre-existing. Right. So, yeah.
Great.
So along with that, new home construction companies have a marketing budget and a budget that accounts for realtor fees and that. So it's not taken out of the buyer's pocket there.
Right.
So.
Yep. We when a realtor is involved in the transaction, new home construction, we help them and give them commission on the current sale that is involved. And then we also, some new home construction companies also do programs with realtors. If they sell homes with us and sell a certain amount of homes, they do like a tiered system and get more money out of it the more you sell with new home construction. So some companies do that as well.
Okay. So you talked about, it's been a seller's market, and there's a lot of people that are in bidding wars and that kind of stuff. So more so than, this is kind of a historical period for it being a seller's market.
It really is.
So that's brought a lot of buyers that new home construction wasn't even on their radar, but they get lost, they lose on the bidding wars, and so they're looking at that as an option. Has that changed how you do things, or have you created more relationships with real estate agents because of that?
I have, yes. A few of the sales I've made in the past 3 years involve agents in that aspect where there's, like, say, a home in Noblesville just got taken off the market the day they put an offer in, and they came in and wanted to see what product we had. I specialized in showing people the financing side and what benefits them on a monthly basis compared to what they could have done, say, renting. And they see that, and the proof is in the pudding on that. So when you see a home, say, going for $180,000, and they see the monthly price on that, and they're like, this is way less, and I was feeling like I was throwing money away when I was renting. That's the big eye-opening factor for them, the big sales factor for them. And yeah, at the same time, though, it's very discouraging to see something that you thought you wanted out there and somebody takes it right off your hands at the snap of a finger.
And you're seeing that a lot.
And you see that, and they come in discouraged, and it's sad to see, but you're also acting as that liaison and that for, let me help you out here. Let's see what we can do on our end.
And you talked about earlier the expertise of a real estate agent and having to go through their licensing and get CE credits and all that. And I'm sure you have a lot of training that you have to do in order just to get up to par and know a lot more about construction and the process and have that expertise that you can bring to the table. Mm-hmm. So an agent that is, maybe they just, in this market, they've had a couple new home constructions and are like, I really want to focus on working on new construction. what should they know? What should they learn in order to be an asset to both a builder and to their client that is looking for new construction?
There's a couple different things, and the couple different things are very major as well. When you buy a pre-existing, a lot of time, it's not under warranty. A lot of new home construction is. It could be a 10-year structural warranty. Knowing more about the warranty programs that new builders have to offer is especially important, because when you buy a home, you don't want to walk in and be like, it's all yours, and if something breaks, it's all on you from then on. They want to come in and be like, okay, the warranty package is here, and we can see what's...
Just that little extra bit of assurance, right?
Yes, yes. And that is a key factor. And then the time frame it takes to build is actually, weather permitting, takes a lot less than people expect, depending on the size of the home. It could vary from 4 to 6 months, usually. A lot of people think it's a lot longer than that. But at the same time, if you do your job right in new home construction and you keep that realtor in the loop on everything, they'll see photo by photo the progress of what's being done. Indiana is known for its wacky weather. I mean, It's not even 50 degrees right now, and we're mid-October. But at the same time, realtors, I trust them on their opinion. I know not even half of what they do at this point, but they're so knowledgeable to know the price of land, and when it comes to the process of building a brand new home.
So in the seller's market, you're seeing too, if somebody does have a house to sell and then they're looking at new construction 4 to 6 months, are there any, I know a lot of people find themselves either with family members or in apartments temporarily while their homes are being built. Is there anything that home builders or realtors can do to kind of help with that, provide resources as far as options that they might consider for those time periods? Or
yeah, great question. A lot of times that is a factor where I tell the customer too, it really varies on how fast the home's going to sell. If you're listing a home, it could take weeks to maybe hours, and you just don't know. One time I sold to somebody that was listing their home. They're like, we still got some things to do with it, but they still listed it like the next day. Within 8 hours, it had been accepted, and I was like, I told you, you
don't have to do those things now, huh?
You don't, and that's a very good thing, but it's also a very stressful thing if you're building a brand new home. So there's a couple factors to put into play with that. The good benefit of building new is there's a couple options. You can completely build your own home, choose your features you want, and do that 4 to 6 month time frame waiting period after your home's been accepted. But the thing about that is that makes that stressful on people is they do have to find some place to go once they close on their home. So they either do, they absolutely can move in with the in-laws, or they can move in with family, or they rent something month to month if you're a renter as well. I always say, can you go month to month after your lease expires, and different factors like that. And some places are very strict on not doing that because it doesn't benefit them too much, and they want to give that to the next person up. But at the same time, some places are very relaxed with it. Yeah, up until the time of closing, you can do that. And then there's also a factor where we build quick move-in homes, where I like to call it the model without the furniture. And it's where the sales reps at the community choose the features for the homes based on community-wide preferences, things like that. And it's at a set price already. And so they have less time to think about moving in with somebody until closing. That home could be already ready to go, and they just listed and sold their home. They could move in 2 months at that factor. So, and if they're a cash buyer, then they can move in.
That's a lot faster, right?
Days. Yeah.
Right.
If it's that ready. So there's a couple different factors with that.
So agents and even builders, maybe if somebody's moving to a new area, maybe have relationships with short-term rentals and places that they might be able to suggest to those people. I feel like I've had a lot of friends that, okay, we've sold our house and our new one's not ready, and going to the in-laws is not an option. So anybody know any short-term short-term properties that we can move into? Right. So I would assume that having those relationships with short-term housing and stuff like that would be helpful for an agent to have.
Oh, absolutely.
So are agents paid their typical commission on new construction, and do they have to be approved with the home builder in advance, or is it just if they bring somebody to the table, then, and it may vary from builder
to builder. I mean, typically with us, it's 3%. I don't know what the going rate with that is with different builders at the same time. But like I mentioned earlier, some builders have different programs they offer. The more sales you get, the more money you get too. So it's like a club you join, and it renews every year. That's one way of doing that. You don't have to sign up to be like a preferred realtor with new home construction. If you're involved with a client, we accept anybody at that point.
Okay. Cool. And you mentioned that you have a program like a tiered level and stuff like that. So are they automatically, the first time they bring somebody, they're already initiated into that program, and as they continue to bring new sales to you?
Great question. A lot of times you'd have to sign up for it online. It's not like a fee or anything you have to do. It's more like application you fill out online, then you become a member, and then after that first sale, then the tiers start coming into play too.
Okay.
So.
Cool. So, aside from bringing in, potential buyers, right? What else can an agent do to be a valuable asset to a builder?
Great question. One of the important things is just stay involved and in the know with what the area is like. A good key for that is coming into our model and scheduling even a realtor open house, letting customers that they're involved with a clientele know about the product.
So the agents can host an open house in your sample homes.
We've done it many times before, and they can show like the product, the quick move-in inventory. There could be communities that have 6 or 7 different quick move-ins, and they want to show them all at the same time. So what better way, aside from a sales rep, to have a realtor come in and show a clientele as well.
Absolutely. So what about co-marketing? You guys do any co-marketing with real estate agents?
At this time, not as much. It varies person to person, builder to builder. A lot of sales reps have that preferred realtor they use for it. So just getting my feet under me at this new community, I'm finding anybody and everybody at this point. And it's really varied by the person.
Okay, cool. So what about mortgage agents, the ones that want to work with, new construction loans? Do you guys work with them? I guess you could do referrals and stuff like that, but do you have people that you work with on a regular basis in that area as well?
We do, yes. We have more of a preferred agent program for that. We have a couple different agents we use, builder to builder. They do as well. Some builders even have their own agents in-house.
Right.
And they help out. But also the benefit of being a sales rep is you get trained on the financing side to give people, not so much a worst case scenario, but let me show you.
Well, you mentioned earlier that was one of the things that you focused on insofar as showing them the benefits of home ownership versus renting, right?
Right. And a lot of times I tell them, I can show you month to month what it could look like based on the price that we priced out today.
Right.
I'm not the lender, though.
Right.
They could give you a completely different number based on smaller factors that we haven't accrued today.
Well, and until you get approved with a certain interest rate, it could change drastically, right?
It changes by the day.
Yeah.
And especially out here in Monrovia, it's USDA. And that's a different loan compared to a lot of different areas as well. It has a 0 down program, and a lot of people don't know about that when they come in here. But it varies by the area. Indiana has a couple different areas that have USDA, VA. We do every type of loan program here, and
so there's no restriction on new construction buying insofar as the loans go. You got VA programs, FHA, and all that, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And our agents are, of course, they're specialized in showing them the exact one.
Right.
Some customers think they go in there with something in mind, exactly what they're thinking about in a loan.
Right.
And then the loan officer gets in touch with them and says, "Hey, I can get you set up
We can
with
do
this
better, yeah.
lower interest rate,
Great.
or PMI." And
Yeah, that's great. So, all right. So before we wrap up, do you have anything else that agents should know when it comes to new construction, or anything else that you want to address, misconceptions or anything like that?
I mean, a final remark is just new home construction is more like it's on the rise lately with, I mean, the amount of inventory that's, I don't want to say lacking out there, but at the same time, it's very competitive. It's a competitive market out there, and new home construction is growing by the day.
Right.
You see the woodwork go up every single day around Indianapolis. So
Right.
there's multiple places and multiple outlets to go. And I guess my advice to someone, a realtor that's new to the new home construction phases, if you have any questions, stop by an office and anywhere.
Just talk to somebody,
They're
right?
knowledgeable. They're
Yeah.
knowledgeable in what new home construction is, the benefits of new home construction, the product, and I mean, you're going to be the first one moving into that home too.
Yeah.
So you want to get what you want. At that
Exactly. Exactly. Kim, do you have anything else?
I think that's it. It's been
All
a
right.
pleasure having you.
time. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to you guys, and we'll see you next time.